offers parents an opt-out option of the health curriculum, and going forward, I would like to offer all grade levels. I think that the board should offer all grade levels in our district the opportunity to use the opt-in approach that we currently use for the 4th and 5th grade.
So that's a motion, you're making a motion.
Yes.
Can we make a
But the
motion?
policy states that any parent can opt out, it doesn't say different grade levels.
No, I understand. Currently, in our district, we allow the 4th and 5th graders to opt in instead of opting out, so that they, you know, it's more inclusive.
Okay, so, I don't know.
Mr. Wasco.
No, I can only provide clarification from my perspective that it is my understanding that our practice in our district, with regards to anything related to the health, regardless of grade level, parents have the ability to opt out.
So our 4th
It's
and
not
5th
my
grade-
understanding that it's an opt-in.
I can show you
Parents
the
have the ability.
I mean, I can show you the emails.
Fourth and fifth grade.
4th and 5th grade is opt-in, I can show you the emails or the printouts. You know, and I think that that's a good policy that we have, and I think that instead of switching to, you know, an opt-out,
An opt-in from an opt-out.
Right.
For all grade levels.
right,
So you, I'm trying to understand, so what you wanna say is that you want part of the policy to say that parents have to write
opt-in.
an opt-in before their child's getting, they don't have to, you wanna put the burden, instead of writing the thing, I don't want my child taking it, you want it to be, I want my child to take it.
Correct.
And
That's
what is-
for all.
I'm not trying to be a wise guy, but
No.
what's the difference?
But it's a state requirement to
Honestly,
take health
what's the
and PE, so, yeah, why can't we just opt
For-
out?
The
for health.
difference is now, instead of forcing them to find a way to get out of it, you're giving them the option if they don't wanna be in it, not to have to get in it. And the people who would like their kids to be in these requirements that we're forced to put into our schools, which could be for further discussion as well, but then they can say, I wanna be in. That way the kids, you know, why are you making it difficult when the majority don't want them to learn this new stuff? Let it be an opt-in.
Say majority. You know that now.
Okay, so
Are
for
we
my,
saying the same thing, just differently?
No.
you're just asking for you're giving the parents an opt-in instead of an opt-out. It's very simple. It's just, you give them an opt-out anyway, just make it an opt-in instead. We already do it for 2 of the grades. So we're just asking, you know, Lisa's asking to do it for all the grades.
I will, you know, Lisa and Mark, if you wanna share with me copies of those, letters, you don't have to do it right now, we have time, but you can do
Well,
that,
but if
because
there's
that
a-
is not my understanding of the practice and procedures in the district is opt-out. So, I would like to look into that and get further clarifications and copies of the communications to the, from our building principals with regards to that issue. And that, opt-in, opt-out can be obviously taken under consideration by the board, but I wanna get clarification and confirm our current practices from our administrative team.
Okay, so then can we postpone the vote on this
Well, we're
until
only
next
voting,
It's only a first
this is
reading.
only,
It's
we're only
not
approving the first reading, we're not
adopting the
approving the
policy.
policy.
No, the policy, yes, it's only a
It's
first
only a
reading,
first
it
So
does
now
not
we-
approve the policy.
Well, and I
And it can
mean,
go back to
second
the
reading.
curriculum committee for additional discussions. And assuming wherever we are at come July, we may or may not be in a position, based on those discussions, with what recommendation we will have for a second reading. And that will give us some time to discuss the opt-in, opt-out, or some of the other issues that you may want to, look to modify in that policy. Or anyone else for that matter.
But she made a motion now,
Right, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
so. Does anyone second her motion?
I second it. We still have the time to talk about it, so I second it.
So do you want a roll call vote on the motion?
Yeah,
what
we vote?
Yeah.
Opt-in as opposed to opt-out.
No,
Isn't that what we just talked about?
The motion was to amend the
Amend.
policy with regard to
Yeah.
2 items,
right, so you can,
and that was seconded, so.
right,
That's
so we have
the
to, that's
first
what we're
item.
voting
Then
on.
let's discuss the second item and put together.
Number
Well, I believe,
24.
can I just ask a question for clarification? I believe, Lisa, you mentioned item number 24?
Yes,
And the other portion of it you were mentioning, I believe, is on page, page 4, the top paragraph with the provision of, with the parent who presents the principal with a signed statement.
right,
With regards to the opt-out, right?
right.
Okay, those two items.
Those two items.
Okay, let's go to a roll call for the
I don't know what we're voting on.
amendment to opt in or out.
Can I clarify something real quick? I know I'm in the audience, I'm also a principal in the school, and the form that you're referring to, the intent wasn't necessarily as an opt-in, right? I guess it boils down to, if you look at it closely, you can certainly interpret it as that. It's more intended to inform parents that the curriculum is gonna be shared with the students. It covers some of those topics, and it does ask parents to reach out if they have additional questions, and then I believe it does have a statement with a yes or no type of thing. But it was never necessarily intended as an opt-in, it's essentially intended as an opt-out. It all depends on how you view it, it's a consent form, essentially.
Right.
That's fine.
That's not
Okay,
it.
great.
Yeah,
Why
it's a
can't
consent
that
to
be-
opt in.
Why can't that be?
But it's not, it's, again, it's, I guess the form, what we're talking about is in essence, the form perhaps needs to be reviewed, because it was never intended as an opt-in, it was more so intended as an opt-out, so
So
parents weren't granting
Okay,
permission.
let's
they
take
could
out
file
that
that.
Discussion.
Right.
Okay, let's take that, the opt-in and opt-out, I'll go this way. You're giving them at least a written thing in front of them from the beginning that says, I can yes do it or no do it. You're taking the opt out of it, whether it's opt-in or opt-out, you're telling them, yes or no, do you wanna do it? And then that, like we said, gives the parent the option. So why can't we do that, however you wanna call it? You're actually sending something home that has to come back, that they have to then
An
respond to.
acknowledgement.
It's an acknowledgement, correct?
I will just say this, if you don't mind, that I think where we're at with things are, as I said a little earlier, I'll get clarification and confirm currently where we're at, regardless of what the interpretation of opting in or opting out or what have you. We wanna keep within the spirit of keeping parents with the option to have the ability that if they take issue with any particular facets of the health standards in particular, they have the ability to opt out of that program. So, I think we're getting caught up in a matter of semantics, the opt-in or opt-out. From what I'm hearing, there are two items that, look to be potentially revised in some way, shape, or form, which is item number 24, and then the, item with regards to, the opting in or opting out. And that's what seems to be on the table right now with regard to the motion related to the policy. And so it's only, as we said earlier, it's a first reading. It goes back to our curriculum committee for additional discussion as well. From the committee standpoint, this is a curriculum item, and then we will, obviously I will consult with our board attorney with regards to any sample wording or potential revisions with regards to how we move forward with, modifying the policy moving forward.
So do we now, we have a motion on the table,
Right.
and second is we have to vote right now to amend or not to amend. Am I correct?
So if we vote no, then it can't go to committee for
Amendment.
discussion.
It can go for discussion.
But the motion on the table is to, I believe, amend the policy with those two particular items.
Right, yeah, those two items would be a no.
I think we have to do a roll call.
No, we would, but I'm saying it would be a no if we don't want to amend, then yes, we do, right? Okay. Okay. Mr. Furr.
I have no idea what I'm voting on. Am I voting on,
To amend policy and number 15.
so we're kicking this back to the curriculum committee to
No,
amend it?
no,
Is that what you're saying?
You're voting on whether or not it's going to be amended or not,
Right now.
right now. She put a motion on the table to amend those two items.
We don't have the flexibility.
Right now,
Right.
without
Correct,
further
so
discussion?
it's either
Okay.
yes if you want to amend, or no if you do not.
Well, I would like to get this reviewed by the curriculum
Okay,
committee, but as of right now, no.
So then,
Okay.
It should go back and be discussed with the curriculum committee,
All right,
and then
Steve.
present it at the
Thank you.
next board meeting so we
Next.
can get it right. you know, and I agree, parents should have the right to opt out or opt in, however you wanna say it.
All right.
That's what I voted. I don't know how I voted, but that's it. Got it.
Dr. Wright?
No.
Mr. Basile?
Yes.
Mrs. McSorley?
No.
Mr. Amorisano?
Yes.
Mrs. D'Amico?
Yes.
Mrs. Mateo?
No.
Now I have the main motion.
Now we're back to
The
the roll
main
call
motion.
vote for.
For first, approved for first
For the
reading
full.
as presented.
Well, she made another motion, didn't she?
No,
No.